Okay. Good morning, and welcome back. Welcome back to another live session. Welcome back to another live session. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. Hope you're feeling good, and I hope you're ready for another beautiful day in the markets. We got Jimmy B in the chat, in the building. AB, Allen. How are you guys doing today, GK? Unfettered, and also Triad in the building. Triad, the famous, notorious Triad trading, the infamous. As you're tuning in, remember to hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Also, keep in mind our disclaimer, okay? Day trading is risky. Remember that most traders lose money, so if you're new to the markets, especially, utilize small share size, practice in a simulator, improve, gain confidence before increasing your risk. Other than that, remember copy trading does not work on a live stream. My results are not typical. And lastly, I do not invest for my subscribers. So be careful of fake accounts. I will never message you first. In addition, we can also mention to be careful of fake advertisements. People are also stealing the content and are trying to run ads. So I'm seeing CDT and CWD being mentioned here. I did trade the first hour of pre-market. I'm down 160, small red start there. Yesterday we were actually up 160 to start the day pre-market. So giving back a little bit of yesterday's gains for pre-market here. I did leave out the last 30 minutes, so now I'm coming to catch up again to see CWD. Let's see. CWD is actually way down on the scan here. Let's pull it up. Okay. Daily chart. Let me double check the daily chart here. Yeah, so CWD, of course, we had the massive move to 48, and then we've had the sell-off today. You know, typically for me, this is like short sellers covering and, you know, people taking profits, and we end up getting some short-term momentum here. So can we continue up there to 11 again? Perhaps, but, you know, expecting this one to go to 15 and 20, I wouldn't really have that expectation based off of the daily chart and the circumstance. So honestly, I mean, I'm not super interested in this one, but there's a chance maybe we can see a retest of the pre-market highs. Pre-market highs. Okay, so CWD, and then the other one that was being mentioned is oh my God, CDT. CDT. By the way, these glasses that I have on, right? These are the sunglasses that can record. I'm gonna buy the other ones, which are like the clear visors. But at some point, I'm gonna do a live stream from the glasses. I probably shouldn't even be saying this, but because I was planning on being the first trader in the world to do it. You guys know me and being the first, right? But if someone else does this today or tomorrow, then they're stealing my idea. So it doesn't count anyways. RELI also hitting the scans here. So, you know, it's different. Being the other ones are blue light glasses, right? So there's a tint that's a little bit more yellow. These are like a little bit more gray looking. But what I really wanted to see is how it would look with the red on the screen when the level 2 and the tape is really moving. If it's like skewed a little bit, then, you know, this idea, we're sending it to the depths. So the plan is I'll go to my office and then I'll just stream from there 1 or 2 days out of the week from the glasses for not for YouTube, but for like other social media accounts. I think it'll be pretty cool perspective to see, like, you know, like my hands, the keys, and what I'm looking at. I'll just have to be very, 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 very careful about passwords. That's like the only risk really, I think. That's probably the biggest issue, which why most people probably wouldn't consider doing it. If you have to log in and out, you know, you gotta like be careful, take them off or whatever. Okay, CDT daily chart. CDT. Pastor giving the different angles coming soon. CDT has a decent chart, but it's curling up from all-time lows rather than like all-time highs. There's some room here, you know, perhaps to 150 and then $2. CDT. RELI, how are we doing? This one a little bit more fresh. This looks pretty good. There's a chance this could be the one today. Daily chart for RELI, how are we doing? Okay, we had a big move just 2 to 3 days ago on the 15th. Lows of 76, highs of 167, and today we're back down, curling back up. So I'm actually interested to see if there's more news or recent news. Typically, when we flush out like that, we're not bouncing back up. So is there a new headline today? Ethereum purchase. Oh man, how much did they spend? An Ethereum purchase has this thing going up like this. Lakewood, New Jersey. Bro, I tell you, like I don't know, like sometimes it feels like it almost feels like some of these companies are just like straight. I mean, and some of them are, right? They're just like a joke, you know. There's some companies, like some of them in China. We literally had the meme yesterday of just like a small warehouse, you know. Anyhow, what's important is that it's up, and there could be great momentum here if it's to keep going to 150, $2. The fundamentals, as we know, not that important here for the short-term trades. 200 EMAs at 238. Do we have that level mapped out? Yes, we do. And we had pre-market highs, or let's say pre-market highs were at 202 a couple days ago. I'll put that level in blue. And then we have high of day was 167. RELI. It'd be lovely to see it retest those levels, though. You know, already hitting 110, so pretty impressive. I'll be watching this one into the open. Going back to the scan, SPRC, a stock from last year, I remember. Also earlier this year. SPRC had a good move in after hours. I believe this is the one we saw in the chat. Some people were trading, and then today into pre-market, a good push. But since 4 a.m. has been on the down and down. Does it have what it takes for a red to green? I'd say it doesn't look pretty good. But you know, you never know, right? Maybe it can be one that just sleeps on one of those charts in the back of your screens or something. Just in case. But SPRC, quick look at the daily. So far, can't hear you in Discord. I can hear him. Same here. Hold on, I'm gonna leave and then rejoin one more time. Bubblegum says he can. Maybe I can leave and rejoin one more time just to be safe. My mic wasn't working earlier, which... Alright, okay, I'm gonna leave and rejoin. Just one sec here. Let me refresh the entire thing. Oh, Big Steve, man. Big Steve playing games early here. Playing games. So I wore these glasses to the gym once to record my workout, right? And there's this funny guy in there trying to give me some shit. Man, the pastor had to set him straight. Okay, I think we're good. That's a quick side note. Now we're back. So I have videos of myself doing muscle ups, but it doesn't look. I don't think it looks as good as when someone else is recording you do it. You know, like this POV is just so you just see the bar, you know, me below the bar and then me above the bar again. It's just not as cool. Okay, moving on. Okay, SPRC 200 EMA at 1033 and potential room to 860 and then 1058. That's if it's to do something miraculous, of course. Okay, coming down on the list. That's my alarm for screen recording. I gotta remember, especially in these days where we're seeing some better stocks. Don't forget, guys, to turn on your screen recording. If you're a beginner trader, especially if you're not recording your screen, it can slow down your learning curve. Just a quick tip right there. Coming down, HIND from earlier. This is the only stock we made some money on in pre-market. It looks backside, you know, back over 11, 12 is where it looks a little bit better. The pre-market highs were all the way at 18. HIND looks a little backside. So RELI, I had a CDT, NFE. How did we look? There were some cheaper ones that were okay. NFE. This one doesn't look that great, but there is a bit of a setup here, you know, for an earlier push, it looks like. There's a bit of a wedge happening here. Maybe there could be something early. But is it going to be, is it too far down on the scan to where, you know, people might not be interested. So hard to say here, but RELI for sure, I think into the open will make a lot of sense. All right. Do I want to look at another one? SQFT. SQFT. Also a pre-market stock that came 4 a.m. and sold off. Looks like backside. I mean, you know, you can see a red to green, but it definitely looks like it's cooked. So RELI into the open here. We're having a bit of a pullback, which is fine. A bit of a steep pullback, actually. So maybe the first 3 minutes, I just take it slow and wait and see for something to come. Shout out to Absolute, man. Absolute in the chat room, big shout out. You know, always has a really solid, detailed watch list every day. By the way, Vidpan. By the way, I don't know if this is Vitali or someone else. It might be somebody else, but Vidpan from the chat room, if you're listening, I did ban you yesterday, but you know, I I had to reconsider because what you were saying was 100% right. So there was someone in the chat room yesterday saying, "RT, man, you should have done way better. You should have made more." And I'm like, I didn't want to hear it. I just banned the person like right away. But after thinking about it during my study session yesterday, I'm like, man, this person was absolutely right. Like, there's no excuse for not being aggressive on such a good move. I was pretty mellow, pretty passive, and ultimately, I didn't step up to the plate. So right is right. So if you do want to come back into the chat room, the pastor definitely apologizes, and we have open arms for you. Oh man, I tell you. See, when you're a leader, these are the things you have to do, right? You have to be willing to admit when you're in the wrong here. Anyhow, so to bring it back to trading, to dial in, we have RELI pre-market highs at 113. We've been hanging out around 85 cents for lows. We are red 160 pre-market to start. So taking it slow into the open, being that nothing looks great right away here. Smaller size. But if something is pretty good again, we're going to step up to the plate and push ourselves. Okay, with 56 seconds to go, let's trade to the best of our abilities. Let's pay attention to the setups and patterns that we know and love. Water. Have the mini fridge coming in handy. Some people are mentioning CDT. I had to try and keep my posture as straight as possible. CDT showing some life, but it's still pretty early. By the way, I gotta take off these scans. I forgot. RELI, 10 second. Definitely can't forget to change share size, changing in between all these stocks. CWD with a small push. Not seeing anything yet. Oh my god. It's too early for me forgetting the mic. Sways, you gotta stop with those mirror trading jokes, man. They're, copy trading as we know, mirror trading. I know you're just joking, of course, but you might have some people in the chat room not understand that sarcasm there. And I missed the dip. SPRC giving a nice push here early. People are actually buying it really high, which is interesting. We have VWAP at 70. It might end up being resistance. Can we push through? So far, it's a good red to green. That was a quick dip there. Back up again. Don't forget if you're watching. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. There was a seller. It came back out. It ended up going. Don't forget if you're watching on YouTube to hit the thumbs up. We got SPRC pushing up here to 5. It's on a tear, and we're not seeing as many dips as I would like. A little too high there. Not a best fill. Got to be careful here because the 5-minute candle is showing a little bit of weakness into this minute here. The VWAP is down there at 76. It's setting up here nicely so far. Um, I didn't think it was gonna go so soon, but okay. High of 6. Tough to get the fills. Oh my gosh, come on, man. The halt level is pretty tight though. What was that? I don't keep forgetting to put this thing back up. It's chasing down the halt level right here, so not looking for trades. Will we lock in 36? I knew over 530 was going to be interesting, but you know, I just didn't expect anything to happen right away. So once we came up there from 590s, that was it. Or 490s rather. So false halt. Not getting the best fills still. So taking the quick trades. Fair, 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 fair. I forget I get these hot buttons too. So 76, so far it's holding up. Looks like it might come down. 550. And I took quite a bit of losses there. 610, no good. For back over the level, we're seeing like a 5-minute pullback here. VWAP is at 07. GV. Is it looking good as well? I'm not switching away from this one yet though. It's fighting here, but it looks like it might be losing because candle ended red there on the 1, or is about to. GV, there's 2 minutes to the resumption. A minute 50 seconds to GV. I gotta take more of these breakouts though. Is fighting for sure here. It's fighting, it's fighting, it's fighting. If we can get back over 80, it looks all right. We got 50 seconds for GV. $28 seconds and counting. It might go under resumption, which sometimes happen. Man, I'm getting cooked on the fills, which is fine. It is super volatile there. GV. Oh, another 5 minutes. Oh, come on. Oh, it's the high 630? It's a bit of a rejection there. Let's see if it does hold up. Didn't take my 20 cents. It became a 20-cent loss. Right, the pullback here. The fills are still not the best here. Yeah, it is a tough one, all right. RELI, not RELI. GV has 3 minutes, 2 minutes. That move, the last consolidation was way more clean. For now, we're like having the sideways trend. We're kind of like high in the range and then back down. There's literally no bounce on that attempt. Okay, GV, there's a minute. Twenty seconds for GV. Well, we see a double bottom here. The VWAP pushing down some more. It might be finished. GV, couple seconds at 320. $360 highs for GV. The halt is over 402. Oh my gosh, to get the fills, bro. Sometimes I wonder if the E-Trade level 2 would be better, you know? Okay, oh, dude, come on. Brutal fills. Brutal, brutal. They are quite brutal today. And I am red now on GV. Not good. Maybe it's going to sell off. We went from 411 to 340s. Our 5-minute candlestick is under stress. SPRC, I missed the big move. So, you know, I didn't really get to see the gains I would have wanted to see on that one. The meat and the potatoes were in that 490 to 6. I'm out at like 610 and never back in until over the whole dollar. So I missed the big move, and the second consolidation was backside. In hindsight now. GV halting down. And SPRC is below VWAP. The 5-minute chart still has some action here, but we'll see. So not a great start to the day considering the momentum here. I think highs of 700 maybe, if I remember correctly, or 600. The key is capturing that type of breakout with size though, you know. We tested the 480 level so many times that I became a little wary of it, like breaking down. But it held strong, and once we got through that whole dollar here, 5, you know, it's a good push. We'll see if anything else does curl up here. I don't know if you guys were getting good fills on this one, but they are tough. SPRC, you know, you catch that sweet move, your day, right? If you catch this move here, your day can already be finished like a nice day. If not, kind of just waiting around for something else. GV. GV's price action out of the resumption, just a little tough. And I'm saying tough because of how fast it's moving. Like it gave a dip, but you know, like it's not possible to really get this type of good entry in there. Like I made 10 cents on like a 30-cent trade, you know. It's like, man. NFEE maybe curling up a little bit. CDT. Also curling up a little bit. There's GV resumption. I like SPRC if it keeps doing what it's doing here. I don't know if it will, but you know. We're getting like higher lows, but will it be able to get through 40? False breakout. It's trying again. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Coming down. Five-minute candlestick to make the new high. No bueno. There's the breakdown. Below that lower high range. Good attempt for the red to green there, but smokes and no cigar. GV, which held up. The halt is at 79. We don't really have too much daily resistance here. The VWAP is at 40. Time. We got a couple minutes left in the current candle. Highs are at 418. I'm a little slow to pull this one back up after a resumption. I mean, it's basically already pulling back. And this is the move, and I'm showing up, you know, at like the tail end. Hopefully double bottoms. Well, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. It's actually 10:14, which is Still a little early. CDT. Bro, my freaking tape. Let's get that there. There we go. CDT is trying. CDT halted up. I don't know. I think GV could have been nice if I was there earlier, but coming so late, trying to get into a good groove on it's just the pullback is just, into the depths. Got cooked. Got cooked. Don't forget if you're tuning in on YouTube to hit the thumbs up. If you're a new viewer, consider subscribing. CDT, we have a minute and 17. No, we have 1:17 resumption and 3 minutes 38 seconds. There we go. This stock has proven to have some range, so I don't want to be too hasty. Hopefully, it provides a good opportunity. CDT. CDT. What's Bitcoin's price actually? $116. 5 days, 1 month, 6 months. Man, I'm not gonna lie. When Bitcoin first came out, or not first came out, but when I found out about it, I'm like, there's no way in hell I could ever buy this thing. And look at it now. The math behind it makes sense. But at the end of the day, it's still the people who give it the value. Ah, CDT fresh, brother. coming up in the next minute. 1 minute to resumption. We got 35 seconds to ticker symbol CDT resumption. Let's see how it does. We got a nice looking move here so far. Right over the pre-market highs. Will we see the infamous dip and rip? CDT. 10 seconds. Trying 12 here, tight stop. Couple cents. Fills are good, but we're not really seeing that push. It's choppy. It might halt down. It's tough, man. Christ. Can we get a smooth rip, dip, and rip to save our lives here? Bro, if we get that dip, where did I get Phil in the first trade? I wonder. At 15, man. If that had like flushed down instantly, I would have got murdered. ATCH. Hitting the Momo scans. Is this continuation? ATCH has a decent daily chart, but you know, doesn't has the volume to maintain and sustain to give a good move. I don't like that it's like stalling out. Will we see something sustained, volatile? No reaction. Waiting. Bro, what's the float? This might not be it. I mean, the float might not be where it needs to be. This is depth C. I was hitting the scans, so continuation, break over the pre-market high, but the volatility that I would like, not really seeing it. And SPRC was the cleanest one, and I just didn't jump in on the break of 30. Gotta jump in like the movie. Gotta jump in. Not the best day here, given the momentum. GV has the same setup as SPRC before it sold off. Will it sustain and try for the highs at least, continuing with the higher low? No bounce, tight stop. This one, I mean, did we even try? What was it? 40 for the resistance? So it had the higher lows, but looks like it's selling off. The other one gave the false breakout and then sold off. RELI. Maybe this is the one. RELI, the savior of the day. Lows 82, highs 91 right there. Massive drop. GV selling off, no false breakouts, but higher lows on the low into a red candle. Really don't love wearing these damn hats. I don't know. RELI, I want to wait on it a little bit. It still seems kind of depsy. Right now, We're down 200 plus 100 from pre-market 160. So down 360 here after SPRC. Not good. Sidelines, sidelines, sidelines. It's only a matter of time before this man calls my phone and say, "Why do you keep leaving the scanners on?" I don't know. I keep forgetting. You know, having up the day trade dash scans for a minute or two quickly just to show the people what's going on the scans. But it's like something starts to move and then I forget the scans are on, and then it's up for like 10 minutes straight. Ross is gonna say, "Pastor, I am not coming to the team house. You're overdoing it with the scans, brother. You're overdoing it with the scans." So if you're now tuning in, we were red $100, 160 pre-market. We got up to about 700 on SPRC and gave it back. Now we're red 360 on the day. But SPRC, for what I saw, I never got green is how I kind of see it in my head. I mean, 700 is not nothing, I guess, but for what I was intending to do and where I could have been in and missed the trades, it's like we kind of missed the move. We're trading the scraps, and with scraps it can be a little dicey. $4.90 to $6. I did not expect it to go, man. Like, but I did overlook one of the signals, which was that heavy buying that came in higher, like 18 to 25. I don't know. The expectation in my head was just, oh, this is gonna go to like 35, right back down, like. But it went all the way. Gotta jump back in just in case. Catching those trades for me are good too, because then, you know, it's a little easier to buy back at like 50, 60. We've had a lot of days though where, you know, chasing the stocks that high isn't a good idea. But today and yesterday, seeing some follow through. Nothing is really moving. I mean, you know, if there's another like 10, 15 minutes, if nothing comes, I think I'm out of here. We're not really seeing much. On the hotter days, you know, maybe something else comes like right away, but it's already been like 10 minutes of nothing. Big Steve told me his 20K day yesterday. He didn't even use over 3K size, which is really impressive. It's like a $8 share gain with the 3K size. QLGN. Not much for QLGN. No. Big Steve hyper scalps. Big Steve was trading like a fierce warrior, in and out, dialing it in. But the dip to 8 was nice though, right? I mean, it was resistance, it was known resistance, it was resistance pre-market. And then it when it broke to 9, it dipped down to like 810. QLGN, are we seeing some action here? On QLGN. It's up 50% with 1.5 million shares. . It's still pretty early in this move, though. Small size. Does it have what it takes to hold up and make new highs? It needs to break over the high and pull away for me to get involved. Not interested in any dips. Well, QLGN. Wow, look at that, man. Is that a sign from the heavens? Or is it just another stock selling off? Get this out of my sights and off the screens. Get that out of my sights and off the screens. From 3 to 2:30 in the blink of an eye. As we know, day trading is risky business. Definitely not the place to try and come and make a quick one for people who are like under pressure, under any stress. In fact, you'll trade better when you know you have that freedom financially and you're utilizing small size to learn. Even if you have 50 million in the bank, it still doesn't make sense to come and trade with like, 50K size. Like you still want to build the experience with smaller size and have a good track record, prove consistency before using massive, because some people are using massive size like that, right? The 1K share that I'm using is like nothing. A lot of people are using like, 15, 30, 50K shares. Some guys are pushing it to like 200,000 shares on like a $5 stock. On the penny stocks, 4 or 5 million shares at like 30 cents. Where I might take 30,000 shares, right? SPRC, can we see something again like this? Freaking thing, man. And I was saying the odds of a red to green here is just so low because of how much it sold off, but pulled it up at the VWAP around this level here. Man, this is the move that I missed. I mean, you just can't afford to miss this type of move here, Can't afford to miss it. It's like I'm pretty like I'm still so skeptical of some trades. Like normally in the past, like there's not a breakout I'd want to let go, but it's like here I'm like seeing what it wants to do, and then it's like crap, well it's gone. You gotta just be in. You gotta just be in. Oh, yep, and the scanner is on again. Yep. I'm cooked. See, it's why I go to single screen. Single screen is probably the way to go, and I'm ranting now, and the scanner is still on. If Ross is taking a quick look at my stream, hopefully he understands. Not with bad intentions, not with but still got to be more careful though, right? man. You guys know I really like Ross's style, right? For those people who don't know that, well, now you do, right? Ross is one of the people that I watched earlier that like really like inspired this whole thing. So shout out to Ross. Tim Sykes, I watched a little bit too. What I don't remember exactly is if so I have a sibling, one that trades as well, and he was the person that came to me with the video. I just can't remember if it was a Ross video or a Tim Sykes video of making 10K in a day. That's how it all started. It's like, wait, you can make 10K in a day? Like, not having a business, as in like a brick and mortar business. You know, I guess back then, even like making money online was a little bit more rare of a thing. It's like just a guy with a screen or two. And then you look on YouTube, of course, you're going to see Ross, Humble Trader, you know, these people like that, Tim Sykes. Like, I haven't watched the Ross recap in like 2 years. And then my brother puts one on, and it's like, holy smokes, like I'm aware of how much he makes from the chat room, like people will say it, but it's still like when you go and watch the video, it's like a different thing too. It's like, man, like the guy is still in the grind, still just at it, you know, from like 2K days back in like 2017, 2018. The guy used to make 2,500 a day, you know, and then now to like 100K days, like it's madness. If that doesn't like earn respect, I don't know what does. So for me, like, you know, I'll always talk nicely from what I'm seeing. You gotta love the transparency. Like even I started doing daily recaps, and it's like at some point it's like, bro, holy smokes, like I am burnt out. And this guy is like 10 years in, still making the recap. Although he doesn't live stream though, I think, anymore. And those were some crazy days. So Ross, if you're watching me here for a quick 2 minutes before you go about your day and your business, come to the team house, brother, so that I can rest my neck upon your shoulder and pick up a trick or two. And I would literally do this if he allows me to, because this is the type of personality that I am. I did show you guys the picture of myself and Crispy, right? Shout out to Crispy, by the way. Another great guy, great trader, good friend. Save, same thing. I watched Save one time, and it's like, man, like the only issue, TGE, the only issue is that the day when I was watching Save trade, that day turned out to be an epic day. Like I should have, you know, part of me was like, man, like I should go back and just trade. But you know, watching somebody trade live like that and putting the size, it gives you confidence, right? Which I'm pretty sure is what's happened for so many people watching me throughout the years. And it's like, man, RT taking 100K size on this penny stock. People are going to try to push. And it's also why people are still watching, even in this drawdown, right? This red streak here. Bitcoin down another 1,000. Today we have FOMC. I would have, let's just say rate hike decision. I would have expected more momentum out of small caps, but maybe people / algos are waiting to see the news. I would have expected more volatility today, even in large caps, maybe, you know, but maybe another thing to think about too is it just being priced in is possible. It's probably priced in for 25 basis point cut. But if we see 50, then maybe there's some action after 2 p.m. So being here around 1:30 to the close on a day like today will make sense. Just to see how things react, and if we do get another stock or two here in small caps to curl up. The insane Tesla run now consolidating after a massive move. The next dip that comes, not specifically on Tesla, but in general, that is like an economic dip again. I'm going to use even more size than I did last. I mean, I've been in good size, but I want to take even more size. It's just so insane how money just comes out of thin air from you doing nothing. Like you just buy low and then you wait a couple months and then I mean, it is, we understand what the stock market is, but it is still madness, right? To just put money in something and then more money just comes out of it, out of nothing, out of thin air. Is there a physical thing behind it? Yes. Companies are actually, having workers, employees, real estate, etc., etc., etc. But it's even more crazy when you think about small caps, right? Some Chinese company out of nowhere just going up 200%, and then the physical company is probably a guy in a basement, and people are making thousands of dollars. The stock market. But even then, we're trading actively. But large caps, you're just in, or the overall market, let's say, you're just in, and then you're waiting. But you still have to be accurate, though, in terms of, there being a bounce, especially if you're in an individual stock where there's more risk. An individual company, there's going to be more risk all the time. Nvidia taking a bit of a hit today, right? I mean, they might drop some more, but it's still a weird science because sometimes these things are priced in early. China banning a lot of their bigger companies from buying the chips. Yeah, I think this is a good place to walk away until 1:30 p.m. There's freaking move on SPRC, bro. Like, wait, the stock was halted? Oh no, it was off screen. Uh, it might have been halted at some point. This is the breakout right here, man. Over 530, it just starts to take off here. 50, 80. I mean, just this setup is literally the 1 minute candle to make a new high. It's like for me to not be in there is like, bro, what am I doing with my life here? There's no excuse to not be in. There's no excuse to not be in right there, right? Let me pull it up top. So right here, we come up from like 510 after holding up 480s, 490s. And sometimes it's just a matter of just taking the opportunity whilst it's there, and having that tight stop. Like that type of trade right there, you capture this trade, it becomes impossible to have like any losses that can bring you back really, unless you size up like insane. Let me hold on, let me let it play. So we had 518 for those of you in the chat. 525, 530, over 530 for the new high. There's 50, there's 80. And it's like, man, insanity. Can't afford to miss it. Clean as day. Or as clear as day, I should say. Oh, no, I did not. And we're on, are we on half screen? Hold up. I'll show that one more time if I'm on half screen. Okay, no, I think I'm good. What gives me sanity in this like slower patch for me is that there are moves like that, right? And it's like we just have to push ourselves a little bit more in those key areas. Yeah, but I think I'm gonna shut it down and then come back at 130 before the rate hike. It's almost guaranteed that they're gonna cut, with Trump pressuring them a little bit, labor market slowing down. This is just what the economics is that companies are not going to be hiring if they can't borrow for cheap to try and expand. That's typically when companies are hiring a lot of people, when they can borrow for cheap. A lot of them don't really use cash as much, it seems. It's just all, mostly debt. Good debt to operate. So for people who are out there looking for a job, it should get better between now and June of next year. Sometimes there's an opening and then there's like a gazillion people sending in a resume that's all been done by, AI. And so the companies are like flooded. Which is, I mean, also why it's good to know people. But if you don't know anyone, you kind of have to do it the traditional way. And it's the odds are against you of getting a good position. Typically, people are giving it to people they know already, which is human nature, I suppose. So job market right now, a little on the slower side. Back in 2020, man, you can just throw a resume anywhere and get a good position for those people who are looking. I have a sibling at the time that was looking, and then, it's like just throw a resume, boom. Um, yeah, yeah, no interview. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, I think I'm gonna shut it down. All right. Is something hitting the scans? No, I don't think so. TGE? Resume. You can just walk in the door and get hired at a high level position too. Yeah, back then companies were very aggressive in expanding. Back then I was actually still working at Amazon, for those of you who can remember. And in terms of like management, I mean they actually overhired. I mean they were going crazy, but the volume was there package wise because the pandemic was happening and people were ordering, online rather than going out as much. Like our facility, I think we were doing at least like 300,000 packages per day or 400,000. This is not fulfillment. Fulfillment is when people are packing the packages into the boxes. I guess they call them pickers. Our facility was more so a delivery station. So the packages will come in the brown boxes already. And we would group them into clusters for the blue vans that you guys will see. They call it sort. Sort, and then, shipping out through blue vans and flex drivers, people with their own cars coming in for like a side job. Man, it pays to know people though, because there's some flex drivers who, like, let's say they know a manager in there, right? A flex route maybe is 20 packages, and a lot of the times on my shift especially, we would deal with same day packages. So packages that had to be shipped on that day due to Amazon Prime or just express shipping. And quite often, after sorting like 25,000 packages, it's likely that one package is missing. It's like almost every day. For some reason, the one package is just like stuck somewhere in a conveyor belt or something like that. And what the managers would do, if they were really good friends with somebody that they knew that was a driver, they would just call that person to the facility. They get the full pay for just one package delivery. I think I might have seen that happen a couple times. Wink, wink. But yeah, they were hiring. The point is that they were hiring like crazy back in those days. I was leading an inbound shift. So this is where the tractor trailers will come up against the gates and, offloading. So I was in charge of that section. And I remember at one point they had to sit like 30 employees. They just had to like almost like benching them, right? Like, hey, there's just not enough volume here. And then they laid them off within like 2 weeks. Like they just laid off all those people, and it was like, dang. Back in the days. uh, what moving averages am I using on the 1 minute? In fact, I'm not using any. This is my 1 minute chart. I have the VWAP, volume weighted average price, and that's it. In day trade dash, let's see what Ross uses. I think Ross uses the 200 EMA, the 9 EMA. I can show you guys that for the people interested as well. Give me a sec here. So on the 1 minute, let's do the Warrior default Ross layout. Let's pull up SPRC. So for anybody else interested in more, since I don't use any besides the VWAP. So Ross also has VWAP. He has 200 EMA, the 20 EMA, and then the 9 EMA. They all say closed. Yeah, by the way. So if you're going to if you're using like E-Trade, if you're using E-Trade, what is this, like 9 EMA? I mean, I don't use them. How do you even add them here anyway? Studies? I think it's through studies. All studies. And then you can come down and look for, you know, whatever you're looking for. Exponential moving average. It's interesting. So, okay, close is right here, right? So you can select close, offset period. I guess this is where the 9 would go. I'm not actually not even sure. What you can do, if you're not sure, like how I'm not sure, you can make it and then cross check it with like a different chart that someone else has the EMA already. And that way you can get it done. Because I use the level 2 so much, it's like there's no real need for it. It's more so like wherever we're basing out on the chart. The biggest issue that I'll have is the fine line between caution and fear in some levels where we might be holding up, but we've held up 4 times already. Even on the breakout on SPRC before the move, within these 2 1-minute candles right here, we held up this level. I mean, we can look at it on a 10-second chart, right? We might have held up this level at least like 5 times. And it's like, okay, it's probably going to break down on the next time now. Let's see. That was 480. Time. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. 1. This is 940. Let me double check. Yeah, 940. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I thought we might have come down there a couple more times. Okay, yeah, I guess that we have to include over here. What was the high though? Yeah, 96. So it started at 938. Low of 81, 83, 84, 91, 90, 85. The next candle opened up at 90. So about 4 times. This is a 10-second chart, so you know it was in relatively close time frame on the 1. So on the level 2, I can see this. Like I can see this, but it's the confidence to take this level every single time, right? Because there are times and there's days where you'll be in right there, and then you look back and you're seeing 560, 550, and you're like, the level completely cooked you. Typically, if you trade with 0 fear, I think ultimately it's better, because caution can sometimes prevent you from being in where you need to be in, right? Especially if you're then fearful, where it's like even worse. But yeah, I'm out of here. I don't think anything is hitting the scans. It's time to, we've been talking here for a long time. I think it's time to get out of here, come back later when the FOMC is going on, and yeah. So stay safe, stay green, hit a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. You guys can check out the links down below if you're looking for a different platform to utilize, especially pre-market. Guardian trading is pretty good. I have a link down below. If you're interested in the day trade dash scanners, you can utilize the code, well, not the code, but the link down below. Also, I still have Momo Pro in my back pocket. You guys can also check out Momo Pro. The code is also down below. The link, I believe, down below. Do I still have the link there? Let me see. I can add that link back actually if it's not there. Anyhow, if the link isn't there, I don't think, but coupon code Relentless should still work, I would hope. If not, it's fine. GV mooning. Bro, I don't know about this, man. This is not the type of stock I'd want to be trading. Real small size, but I'd rather a fresh stock, but you know, real small size here. Resistance was at 35 for the bear flag. VWAP was at 20 over that level, which is good. And we had a pretty big 5-minute candle to this point. Right as I'm about to leave, brother. Nice curl. If we can get a candle to close, a candle or two to close above 35, I think I'll be more interested. You guys know I have the CEO's number, Charles Schwab. No, I'm just kidding. I spoke to some big time people, but guys at Schwab are not one of them. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I could get onto somebody if I really needed to. It shouldn't be hard, honestly. I'd have to make one call, maybe two. Not customer service. Customer service isn't going to do anything. The real deal people, the big dogs. By the way, another thing with me is that like for security, like I really don't like to talk about certain things, but like for security reasons, I usually change my accounts like after a certain amount of time. I would love to I would love to explain why, but I don't think is the smartest thing to do on live stream here for like smaller groups of people. Yeah, but I don't know if on here it makes sense to say why. Can we see candlesticks here close above 35? I think most people will understand what I'm trying to say, though. You know, like you never know who's watching, and if it's hard for me, it has to be hard for them, right? People can try you, you know. I think that's more than enough hints of to what I'm trying to say. Ah, man, being in the public's eye. Being in the public's eye. I want to see candles closing above 35. Closing above 35. 35, our line in the sand here to confirm a red to green. So I spoke with what's this guy's name? There's 44. This could be interesting here. I spoke with forgetting this guy's name. I want lower if possible. Okay, it's holding up. It's looking really good here for red to green, but I might not get the entry I want. What's this YouTuber's name? I'm forgetting his name. What's this guy's name? Alex Winkler. Triad should know this guy pretty well, I think. Alex Winkler was telling me how he's a cool guy too. Shout out to him. He was telling me about some security issues he had. And once I heard that, I said, okay, I will not be playing around. Is this thing not going to hold up? We need to hold above 35 here. If this doesn't work out, I'm shutting it down until 1:30. I'm sucked back in here looking at this kid setup. Will we hold up? There might even be a chance to add if it ends up being strong. If not, tight stop here. Guys, the day trading scene is small, right? The day trading scene is like pretty small. The day trading scene is small, so like most people will know most people, you know? That's kind of how it goes. I spoke with Humble Trader one time, like we had like an hour conversation, like really cool person. Like you can just tell, like when I spoke to her, it felt like I was friends with her for years. Shout out to Humble Trader, man. Very humble in person, like in real life. Very humble. Very humble. Very humble. Cool vibe, good energy, you know? I know Patrick has gotten into some stuff, but I don't know. The guy seems like a cool guy too. Like the videos he posts, they're like I mean his marketing is interesting for sure, right? I like it. For me, I like when people can like say like come out and say like okay, yeah, you know, like own up to anything, which I think he did, which was really good to see. He has the vibe for a team house member already. Like, you know, a guy like Ross might be more like relaxed. I'm getting stopped out of this trade. A guy like Ross might be a little bit more relaxed. My stop is at 30, which is a little tight, yes, but I'm in at 40 area, so I don't want to give it too much wiggle room. It's coming down. Fair trade. It looks like it's coming down. The VWAP is at 28, is it? 25? I think 25. That trade I don't mind. I'll try that trade any time of the day right there to see if it wants to give that red to green through 50, like 60, 70. We had the candle close above the level a couple times, but it's on a bit of a downward trend here to 25, 24. Fair trade. Yeah, he seems like team house ready. You know, a guy like Ross might be more like laid back, easy going, which is, you know, good to have those people too. We have a few guys who are more chilled out. But Patrick seems like he's gonna be ready to go skydiving. Like, hey, let's go skydiving. It's like, yeah, let's go, you know? Which could be pretty fun to do. Like these different activities, like the water stuff, the jet skiing. Shout out to Triad and Crispy, man. Those two guys also, they love some jet skiing too. But yeah, GV no good here. I tried for a bit of a longer hold for a push to like 70, but uh it was no good here after holding above the resistance. We had highs of 60 and then a high of 50 and back down. But yeah, in terms of like the team house, you know, I can honestly see any one of these people being there and like having a good time, you know? And because the houses are so big, you can always bring whoever you want to bring. Like, if you want to come with like someone else or two other people, like that, there's so much space that like, you know, it doesn't matter. The last place there was this room which was like insane. But yeah, I'm gonna shut it down. So we took a loss there at the end, which is gonna add a little bit to the red, which is fine. But we're shutting it down here. 1:30 p.m. today. Keep an eye out for the rate hike decision, rate cut, I should say, rate cut, FOMC meeting, and there might be some more momentum around that time. If not, maybe tomorrow again for pre-market. But yeah, take care, stay safe, stay green.